Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. This is where we come, right and left, to try to be reasonable. And again, straight transparency. Release the Epstein files. All of them, as much as can be found. Tomorrow, the House votes to force the DOJ to release all of the Epstein files. I hear all the claims that, coming from the left now, this is for the victims. Let me point some things out for the record on the eve of the vote, okay? My BS detector has been going off about the Epstein case ever since I learned about it almost 20 years ago. It has never stopped. Not when the non-prosecution deal happened under Bush. Why would ASA Acosta, Assistant, U.S. Attorney Acosta, give a deal like that to a guy with this scale of abuse? My detector went off when they explained that away without making any sense. My detector kept buzzing when Patel and Bongino and the Righty Pod bros resurrected this as part of the MAGA deep state attack. And that's where it came from. Selling that Epstein was murdered, and maybe this was about Pizzagate, the single stupidest conspiracy ever. Not when Trump picked Acosta, of all people, to be labor secretary. You ever Google this guy's pedigree? Not when Trump then picked the guys selling the hype about Epstein for positions where they could actually deliver, and then they totally flaked. They backed down from all the talk, despite MAGA releasing the files part of the campaign because of them. Not when AG Bondi just ghosted us on her imminent release of the client list. It's on my desk. Never explained, not until this very day. And not when the Democrats decided Epstein was worth front burner attention, despite the shutdown, the affordability crisis, and all of our insurance costs skyrocketing. I keep hearing from them, this is how they'll finally break Trump's spell over MAGA. Look, I think finding ways to lower their affordability issues, lowering prices would do more than Epstein's emails, but we will see. However, even on tomorrow's vote, my detector is going. Let me say once more, I hope it's unanimous, I hope the Senate echoes it, and I hope no one tries to sneak anything in it before it passes, and I hope the president signs it. Trump was supposedly against the vote, but yesterday he endorsed it, and today he said he'll give Congress everything they have if it passes.
I'm all for it. We've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because, honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
Detector's still going off. Why do we need a vote? The president has near plenary or complete authority to declassify information and intelligence, even if it's of a national security matter. And if he can't, why is this about him anyway? Why won't the Attorney General and the head of the FBI do what they always talked about? This is why my BS detector was going off so loud when Patel refused to answer whether he had discussed with Bondi if Trump's name was in the files with the attorney, why he wouldn't answer it to Eric Swalwell. Now, social media was satisfied during that with Patel just fighting with Swalwell because that's what feeds the clickbait beast, and that's all that mattered. But why can't he and the Attorney General just release everything that they promised for the last few years? Why can't they even explain why they can't do that? I hope I'm wrong. Look, not just for the accountability, but I hate that the victims have been used in all this. If the victims and their families have been denied access to people who may have had knowledge of what Epstein did to them, and these people were in positions to have stopped him, these people deserve that transparency and information. I just don't understand how they don't already have it. There are problems even with this idea. The left is saying it's all about the victims. I don't buy it, okay? It wasn't about the victims wanting transparency and you wanting it for them during the Biden administration? Or before that, when like only 2 of you ever asked about it? Oh, wait, hold on. The Maxwell investigation was still going on. We couldn't release anything. Who's going to believe that? So no other investigation could go on of other people at the same time that Ghislaine Maxwell was being investigated? Really? Anyone supposed to believe that? And now they're shifting it to the victims. The victims, they know the names in there. That's the new backstop. I don't like victims being played in this. Representative Thomas Massie is now saying victims' attorneys gave him 20 names of rich and powerful lawmakers and people of influence. Why doesn't he out them? Why doesn't he refer them for investigation? It doesn't make sense. It never has. And if the victims know others who are implicated, why didn't they put the names out? Why didn't they sue them? Or did they sue them and it's all settled? The FBI, all the attorneys in suits, multiple administrations desperate to attack one another, and nothing ever came out? Now victims are being encouraged to create their own list. Good. Create it. Great. Give it to me. Give it to us at NewsNation. But why hasn't that been done already? And look, I have a prediction, okay? Whatever is released, if this actually comes to fruition, and I hope it does, I actually hope that it doesn't get done this way and the Attorney General does what she said, okay, and the head of the FBI does what he promised, and they put it out. But whatever way it comes, it comes. Whatever comes will never be enough for some, in no small part because antagonists on both sides have been hyping this without basis. I can tell you right now that what the judges have sealed in the civil suits, not the criminal investigation, that will not be part of whatever they offer. Know that now. And I'm telling you, because once this thing comes out and they're playing with the crumbs, they're going to say, well, the real stuff is in those depositions from the civil suits. It's always been that way. It was sealed by judges. There wasn't any real fight to this point to get them unsealed. And that's where I think this is going to be headed. But I hope I'm wrong. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.